Welcome guys. Today we are going to see Top 5 New History Games of 2022, Part 1. A few historical-focused video games coming out this year. There are a few games that offer just that, and in this list, we're highlighting them. In 2022, players can go through some of these period piece games, whether it's military focus or building up ancient Egyptian civilizations. With that said, don't consider these games ranked just yet. There are quite a few games yet to be released, so the games could easily change around by the time 2022 officially wraps. Now, let's begin with number 5. Builders of Egypt. Builders of Egypt might be a city-building game to keep tabs on. This year, this is not the only city-building and management game set within ancient Egypt. With that said, this game will have players taking control of Egypt and building up its civilization. You'll need to make the city work efficiently, with the ever-changing political struggles and military powers that march into your territory. So far, the title is slated to launch sometime this year, but you can get a bit of an early look into the experience. Builders of Egypt Prologue is available as a free-to-play early access game. This prologue actually launched back in 2020, but it gave fans a look at what the developers, Strategy Labs, were creating. Meanwhile, the full game release doesn't have a specific release date attached yet. But there is another prologue demo coming out this year, so we should be able to get another look into how the game has shaped since the first prologue came out back in 2020. Next, number 4. Trek to Yomi. Trek to Yomi is an upcoming samurai game, and it's looking to be quite the cinematic experience. Players here are taking the role of a young swordsman named Hiraki, who has taken a vow. With his master dead, Hiraki has devoted his life to protecting his village and those he loves. Meanwhile, developers have crafted this game to be a black and white cinematic style experience. Visually, Trek to Yomi should look like an old-school samurai movie. You'll explore the different towns and environments while slicing your way against enemies that pop up. You'll find that the game is more of a 2.5D setup, so don't go into it thinking it'll be another Ghost of Tsushima game. However, we're left waiting for more footage to come out showcasing the title and its release date. At the moment, we don't have a specific date attached to the game yet besides the 2022 launch window. Next, number 3. 6 Days in Fallujah. 6 Days in Fallujah had a bit of an interesting development process. This game was first brought up to public attention in 2009, where it was surrounded by controversy. Since the game was depicting an actual battle that just took place a few years prior, the title was a bit too soon for most people's taste. The amount of attention and controversy this game received ultimately caused the publisher, Konami, to drop the game entirely. Eventually, 6 Days in Fallujah was scrapped until recently, when it was unveiled that the game was back in development. There doesn't seem to be as much controversy this time around, which may help the developers get this title out into the marketplace. With that said, players can expect a more realistic tactical shooter, with gameplay looking a bit like XCOM. In the sense that you're setting up an attack while commanding your squad. Of course, with that said, it does look like there will be multiplayer support. This means you could potentially drop the AI companions for some friends, as you attempt to relieve the Second Battle of Fallujah, one of the bloodiest battles to involve American troops since the Vietnam War. Next, number 2. Company of Heroes 3. Fans of the Company of Heroes franchise will have a third installment hopefully within the year. This is an RTS title, set during World War II. To be more exact, this third installment will be set within the Italian and North African theaters. You'll lead the Allied forces into battle, as you fight off the enemy. But there are plenty of choices to be made in this game that can alter your campaign ending. Meanwhile, the developers put a bit more focus on the actual destruction physics for this new release. You'll find the system has improved to where you can watch even small little details of a building getting hit by artillery, like individual bricks burst into bits. Even a new mechanic will allow players to pause the battle and string together a series of commands to execute when you resume. Finally, number 1. Knights of Honor 2: Sovereign. If you were ever interested in grand RTS games in the past, but were turned off by the complexities they tend to come with, give Knights of Honor 2: Sovereign a chance. This is an upcoming title that puts players into the shoes of a king. You'll have to attempt to take control of Europe during medieval times. Like with other thrilling grand RTS games, you'll have the ability to tweak religious outlooks, diplomacy, manage your city developments, appoint officials, and weed out spies, among other aspects. However, the big selling point here is that the developers are making it easier to manage. This is potentially a gateway game to the entire genre, so there shouldn't be a moment where players are feeling overwhelmed. Of course, we won't know just how well the game ends up being until it releases. Unfortunately, Knights of Honor 2: Sovereign doesn't have a release date attached to the game quite yet. Thanks for watching Top 5. What do you think of these games? Comment your thoughts below. If you found this video knowledgeable, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thank you very much.
To change your